I should not have to make myself smaller. Why would I do that? Changing certain behaviors in your mindset, I'm still acting out of survival. You start to realize like how silly it is. Okay, let's start this video. Hi you guys, I hope you're feeling good, hope you're doing well. How are you? How's 2025? It's been crazy. Currently I'm just trying to take care of myself while also getting things done, and I'm looking forward to the end of the month and being able to rest for a bit. But I wanted to come on here and just say something that I thought about yesterday, because you guys, you realize, like, when you're trying to break habits and rewire your brain, you realize how many little things lead up to that really big habit and that big view you have of the world or yourself and the way you act and things like that. And so I realized that yesterday, doing a very simple task. But before I get into this, thank you for watching. And if you're new here, my name is Tasia. I am all things wellness, mental health. I have a business called Well Lived. You can check it out below. Most of my videos are on my business and pop-ups and creating and stuff like that. So that's a little bit about me. Feel free to subscribe, like, all that jazz. But I'm going to get into why I'm here. So my 2 words for 2025, like the theme and my focus, is maturity and moving unapologetically. So in terms of maturity, this goes into like my personal style, the way I navigate my responses and relationships and boundaries, and also my branding for my business, because we're on year 2, or like we just entered year 2, and so you know, I want it to mature. I don't want this to be just a small baby brand, and it's not. It's still very early stages, but we're growing, and I want to mature, and I want the brand to mature, and I would like to mature with it. So maturity is, or just maturity, whatever, is my number 1 word. And then the second one is unapologetic. I keep wanting to say accountability. Maybe I should look into that. But unapologetic, moving unapologetically. There was this time in, I think, December, during one of my markets, where I don't know if it was one of my markets or, I don't know, but I have these moments often where I just see people moving unapologetically, like and sometimes I feel like it's rude, like I was raised to say excuse me, apologize and stuff like that, but that goes into what I'm going to be saying soon. But you know, lots of people don't do that because they're not thinking too deeply of how it might impact the people around them. I'm not saying I'm about to become shallow, or these people are shallow, or I'm not about to think about anyone, or those people don't think about other people. But there are certain things, like little things, that I'll notice people don't do that I do, and I do it out of a state of, I don't even know, but it's like the way I'm raised. I don't know. I don't think it's survival, but just a state of not wanting to be an inconvenience or anything to anyone, and wanting to make sure that everyone else is so perfect and everyone else is just good and comfortable. And so I will maneuver and do something to hopefully bring ease to them and go out of my way. And I don't even know, but whatever. So that's where the term unapologetic comes in for me. And yesterday, like I said before, it's like the really little things that you don't even realize that lead up to that big thing. But yesterday, I was going to close my bedroom window right here that has the sun shining through so beautifully. I love the sun. I'm sure we all love the sun, but like, I love the sun. I love the sun. I love summer. Obviously, we're in winter right now. Well, not obviously, because I could be recording this in spring and post it in the winter, but obviously I'm not doing that. Whatever. But we're in the winter season. And it's been gloomy a little bit, but the sun has been coming out, and I've been so grateful. So grateful, because I just get a burst of energy. It's just light, it's beauty. But anyway, yesterday I cracked my window because I like to just get air flowing. And I was going to close the window, and I had seen there was someone, like, it's my window, an alley, and then like someone else's house. So like someone was walking in the alley, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to close the window because I don't want to like scare them. Mind you, it's like broad daylight, but still, like, you could, like, ooh, what was that? You know, like, that's happened to me before, so I think about that. But then for a second, I'm like, you know what? I just inconvenienced myself. I'm going to be colder for who knows how much longer, to convenience this person who likely may not even care, may not even hear it, will forget about this in 2 seconds, you know? So like, then I literally stopped. I took like 2 steps, and I turned around and like, just close it. And by then they had already kind of like walked off and stuff, and I closed it, and maybe they still heard it, maybe they didn't, but it was like, wow, it's really those very little things that I'm noticing about myself that's like, oh my gosh, like, you're doing this out of something, I don't know, I need to figure out what it is. Let's think. Give me a second. So I feel like I know, and I feel like I already knew what it was, but just like childhood stuff and having to take care of people and stuff like that. But I just realized, like, again, how many of those little habits contribute to this very big view I have of myself and how I should navigate each day. And that's to put other people's comfort before mine. And what the heck? Why would I do that? You know? And not even, again, in a, like, oh, screw them. Like, who cares about them? But in a way of, like, this is likely not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. So why are you making it much bigger than it is? And I don't know. And in those moments, I do have to remind myself, like, I just have to think of the word, like, unapologetic. Unapologetic. Do this unapologetically. Like, yes, shut that window unapologetically. And you're probably like, girl, your window? Like, are you serious? But, like, again, there's so many little things that have built, like, habits that has changed my mindset. And I'm sure for you too, many people who have dealt with a lot in their childhood, that's impacting them today. And when you are conscious of the things that you want to break, the habits that you want to break, the mindset, the actions and behaviors, you start to realize, like, how silly it is. How silly it is for me to not shut my window because I don't want to frighten someone or inconvenience someone. So I'm gonna make myself uncomfortable. And it's like, yeah, this sounds small, but then think about in other situations where, I don't know, say I need to get through somewhere, but, and this is not me, it depends on the situation, but I need to get through somewhere and it's an emergency, but I'm letting everyone else go because I feel so bad, and, you know, they should just go. They were here before me, whatever. And then next thing you know, something happens to me. But again, I feel like that depends on the situation. But I just think it's so interesting. And it's cool to understand those things and understand, like, oh wow, like this thing way back when I was a kid and I started to act this way because of my environment and because of survival. That's really what it is. Because of survival, I am now reflecting that in so many ways that I don't even realize every single day. Every single day. And it's something, again, obviously I want to break because I should not have to make myself smaller to accommodate others, to feel like, oh, okay, I need to make myself smaller in order to fit in this room, to do whatever it is that I want to do. Like, no, I can show up as me. I can show up unapologetically. And I've also been told, my manager for my annual review and a trainer or like a coach, instructor who I had worked with to get my degree certification, and then also my coach in high school, they would always tell me, and I mean literally everyone, if you talk to me in person, I'm like mumbling because I'm soft-spoken for one, but also I'm nervous and I don't want to like say the wrong things and all this stuff, or I feel like it's not that important, you know? So like just hearing those recently as well, it's like, okay, I need to truly use my voice, because I can speak on here. You're probably like, girl, you're not soft-spoken. Maybe, I don't know. But on here, on like the camera with you guys, or in certain situations, if I talk to a random person, I'm like an extrovert. Depending on the setting, like if I walk up to a random person and do like an interview, or like tell them, compliment them or whatever, or like, yeah, like that, like I'm an extrovert. But say it's like a networking event, it's gonna take a second to warm up, but then I'm like, okay, let's talk, like whatever. I'm actually a people person, but I hide that. And again, I think it comes from my childhood and survival. And I know for me, I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. I'm not white, you know, so being put in that space early on, it's caused me to act a certain way and survive. I had to survive, or felt like I need to do certain things to survive, and that's now reflecting in the daily things I do as an adult, which is crazy. I don't even feel like it's sad anymore. At this point, it's like, oh wow, like it's just interesting. I don't know, it's interesting, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. I just want to get that off my chest and share that with you guys, because I'm sure there are people out there who can relate to, of course, literally we're all trying to like break some habits, especially at the beginning of the year, but like relate to truly like healing yourself and changing certain behaviors in your mindset, because that's just how you grew up. That's the survival mode in you. That's what you learned from your friends and family and environment growing up, and you're now realizing like, oh shit, that's everywhere. It's in everything that I do. And it's just crazy. It's crazy. It's cool if you like psychology and like mental health and stuff like that, and you're open to truly learning about that stuff and maybe reading books. Like one book that I neglected that I need to get back to reading is The Body Keeps Score. Oh my god, it's so crazy, because the body literally takes note of like, oh, okay, I have to act this way, or this happened to me, so I'm going to start acting this way. And then even when you're out of that situation, you're still replicating those behaviors, just in a different light. And that's what I realized yesterday. And it's like I knew that, but it was right in front of me. It was like, oh wow, no, this is clear. I'm still acting out of survival. It's just crazy. So yeah, that's Talks with T with Tazia Talks. I don't know what we would call this series, if it becomes a series, or I'm sure me just honestly talking is gonna be like a thing. But I don't know what I would call it. I would want like a play on like tea. Like I like the cup tea. The drink, like I like drinking tea, but also I have T is the first letter of my name, but then it's like, ooh, tea. I don't really have like, ooh, tea for you. I don't know, but that's what's on my mind today. And I hope you have a good day. I will see you in the next video, which will be, well, I'll be filming it this Sunday. It's pop-up market, so very excited.